Okay, multimedia, we're coming toward the end, and I want to show you how to do our next SketchUp project. It's more creative. You don't have so many parameters. You have certain things you have to do, but you could be creative with it. So let's go ahead and start. And you're going to go to the Dream Room assignment in classwork. You could go to SketchUp for Schools. Close that one up. And what we're going to do is you have to go to try SketchUp. For those of you who are can't remember, I get it. You're going to go to primary and secondary. You'll have to scroll down a little bit. You'll go to get started. You are a student, but I have to go to educator, and then I get to fill out all this junk. Try to be as quick as I can. This is one of those times when I wish I had a very short last name. And you may have to do this. I'm not exactly sure what it'll make you do. It does different things for different people, so don't have a panic attack if it takes you right in. I'm just going to agree. No, I don't want a bunch of emails, and I'm going to launch SketchUp. So on, I'm going to show you how to do the assignment. So we'll go ahead and take an assignment here. So on the project, you're going to create a dream room. You have to create a 3D drawing of your dream room using Google SketchUp and the following tools like rectangle, push pull, line, orbit, tape measure. Another one that we will probably use is rotate and move. So those are the big thing. Those are the big things that you'll be using in this assignment. So your room, it has to have some of these things. So it has to have a place to sleep. It has to have a dresser. It has to have a door. It has to have one or more windows you can see through. It has to have flooring. It has to have lighting. And it has to have wall color. Now, let's go through, and then it has to have 8 more things or accessories you want in your dream room. I'll go through that in a minute. So, a place to sleep. Maybe sleep on a couch, a bed, whatever you choose. A dresser. That means like a chest or something that you put your stuff in. A door, you can either go get it or build it. Same thing with the window. And you got to remember, though, if you're bringing in a door or bringing in a window, you may have to do some rotation. And we're going to look at that in just a little bit. Um, so if if you build your own, it's easier. But if you want it to look cooler, then you'd probably go to 3D Warehouse and get it. You have to have flooring like carpet or wood. You have to have lighting. Now, here's one thing I want to tell you, and I'm just going to go ahead and add it to this lighting. Has to be separate. So, I'm never good at spelling here. So, when I say that, it means that if I bring in a chest and it has a lamp on it, that's lighting, but it's not on its own. So you have to either have a lamp or a chandelier or something for lighting, a candle, whatever it is, but it can't be part of something else you're already bringing in. Wall color. Now, wall color can include like just color itself, like paint, or it can be like wood, or if you want paneling or something. I'm not sure. The last thing is you have to have 8 or more things or accessories you want to put in your dream room. I have kids every year that say, "I don't know what I would put in." Oh my heavens, just off the top of my head, I might put a refrigerator or a pool or a sliding board or a hot tub or a plant or a dog bed or a cat or a pet crate. I might put in a dog bowl, a water bowl for my dog. I might put in a vanity. I might put in a bunch of makeup. I might put in a little hanging closet or rack so I could put some clothes on it. So there are a lot of different things that you can choose to put in. So each thing, your room, you do not have to have dimensions on that. But one thing I do want to tell you is sometimes when people do this project, they make this room and they don't pay any attention to the scale and the dimensions of the room, and they pull in their couch and they can't find it. Many times they can't find it because their room is 25,000 miles long. Yeah, you're not going to see a couch in there. So you're going to have to make sure that your room, at least you can make your own dimensions, or you can just go with what you get, but make sure it's not, too ridiculously long. So that's the assignment. So let's have Miss K do the assignment. So I'm going to go to create new, always simple template feet and inches because that's what we get. This guy is way too close. The our scale is crazy. So I'm going to try, whoopsie, I'm going to move him back a little. I don't know why that happened. And I didn't want that. Sometimes it's harder with the mouse, I swear to goodness. So I'm going to move this out so Mike is littler. Okay. Then I'm going to go to pan so I can get to my area. I'm going to draw my room. All right. I think I got it now. I'm going to go to a rectangle and I'm just going to click down. Remember, click one time, pull your mouse in the shape you want. Right now my room it's about 60 feet by about 60 by about 42. I think I'm going to live with that. So I'm going to just click. I'm going to go to push pull. Remember to make my room tall. And I want my room to be about 12 feet because that gives me plenty of room for anything that I want. 12.7, 12.1, too much. Okay, good enough. Now, it's going to be really difficult to put things in the room because we can't see in the room. So what I do is I usually take off a wall, take off another wall, and I even sometimes take off the ceiling, but I'd put it back on. And then just get rid of all the little pieces that go with whoopsie, all the little pieces that go with it. So I'm going to show you a couple things. I'm not going to go over too much. Remember, if you go to the paint can, you can, if it's on the house, you could get their version of colors. If you go to the magnifying glass, you've got a whole bunch more stuff. So for my flooring, that's carpet, fabrics, leathers. I'm going to go to carpet. Not a super, they don't seem to have too much carpet that I'd like, but I'll try this one. Why not? Yeah, and it's kind of hard to see with where I just clicked on it. Well, what would work with that? I think I'm going to choose wall covering. And if I want to do that, I just go back to colors. Then it looks like you're at Home Depot or Lowe's and you have tons of colors. There was a cool green, I think, in that. So I'm going to choose that. And that is the colors and stuff of my room. If I want to take a look at it, I could just orbit down and I can zoom in to see the carpet, but I'm not going to do that right now because that's going to be wasting our time. I need a place to sleep. So I'm going to go to components and we are going to work on two things that we really haven't worked on much. One of them is scale, and the other one is rotation, which is probably besides, actually the dimensions, probably one of the hardest things that we do. So I'm going to go and I'm going to get a bed because I need that to sleep in, and I'm going to pull in a bed. I'm going to click on this guy. Now, it may take a minute. and he'll pop up in a minute. It just takes a sec. Okay. So you can see he's on the face, which is a good thing. What that means is he's not through the floor. He's just sitting on the floor and you can see it. Well, what if I want that bed against this wall? Sometimes moving things is hard. So what I do is I try to get in the same like axis or perspective that the bed is in. And I'm going to click the move tool and move it, and you can see the bed. And if I just move it back, I'm looking for, oops, I've driven it through the wall. I don't want to do that. It's on the red axis. We're looking for on face if we can get it. You should be able to find it. Red axis, red axis. We've gone through the wall. So sometimes it takes a little bit. Maybe I'll click it. I'll go to orbit. Oh, it looks good. It's pretty close against the wall. All right. So if I were to orbit around, yeah, that looks pretty good if that's where I want it. I may also go to move. Maybe I would move it and I click it and I'd move this way. And I got to watch it. You get if you're moving stuff around, there we go, on green axis. And there we go. Now he's more in the center if that's what you have in mind. And when you click off of it, oh, rats. Okay, hold on. I sometimes it makes me mad. On this, you'll want to be on the green axis because of the direction I'm facing. I'm going to click here and maybe somewhere else. All right, so there's my bed. Well, he's tiny. I probably don't need him to be quite that tiny. So if you go to move and you go to, ooh, let's try that again. Oh, come on. Remember, if you make a mistake, Control Z is your friend. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select this bed. I'm going to go to scale, which is under move. And you see these green things? If I want it to grow proportionally, I always grab a corner. If I want to make something longer or taller or whatever, then I grab a more one that's in the side. But I'm going to grab a corner. And there we go. I've got a bigger bed. So now it's like really big. The next thing, all right, so let's say I don't want the bed on that wall. Let's say I want it over here. So I'm gonna back up a little bit. Oh, and remember to save. I'm gonna go ahead and call this dream room. And I'm gonna go to OK, and I'm gonna show you guys can remember how to do it. I'm gonna click Google Drive. It should pop up here in a minute. And I'm just gonna go to my 3D models. Um, remember, can't go in. You just want to select. And it should change here in a second. Just takes a second. And in our case, it's wanting to be a goofball. I don't want to spend too much time on this because we've already done this part. You should probably, if you turned it in, know how to do this. So, yeah, now I've wasted a minute of our time. Hold on. I'm going to see if I could get here up here to pause.